there is so much noise out there in the marketplace.
Yeah.
Everyone is trying to compete for that little shred of attention.
Mm-hmm.
A good brand can stand out and help give an edge to a particular business if they have a solid brand structure.
Hello there, and welcome to Dial It Up, where we're going to be talking about all things franchise marketing and business growth. I'm your host, Jamie Adams. To my right, Mr. Jordan Wilson.
Hi, friends.
Okay, hey, to my left, Miss Julia Cook.
I'm so excited and I just can't hide it.
Yeah, that's good. You can hide it.
That's very good.
Do you guys want to sing that?
Following her sucks.
Oh, we should do that.
Okay, we should. Maybe another time. And to my far left, Mr. Patrick Crawford.
Walgreens in Pig Latin is Al Green's way.
Okay.
All right.
These are fun facts, folks.
Yeah, these are fun facts.
Is that not right? I think
It's
that's
actually,
right.
it's actually not a bad unintentional lead-in to today's topic.
He didn't mean to.
He didn't mean
did
to.
not mean to.
A scholar. Well done.
So
Got the scalp. It's fine.
we're going to be talking about something that everyone is familiar with in concept, but I think is sometimes unclear, and that is the topic of brand.
Brand.
Brian. Oh, yeah.
Okay, but before we get too far into this, why don't we start
Yep.
with a good old true definition of what brand is? right?
Sweet.
And,
Let's dive in.
and as always, and we're looking for deep knowledge.
Yes.
Deep knowledge.
We're not asking Jordan.
All right.
Easy.
We're not asking me. We're certainly not going to ask Patrick.
Cool.
Yep.
I mean,
Certainly? Why say certainly?
was it necessary? It was.
It was.
Yeah, so who are we going to turn to? But none other than our resident expert scholar,
The
Miss
Canadian
Julia-
ginger.
That's right, the Canadian ginger. She said it, not me. Miss Julia Cook. Julia, tell us a spot-on definition. Actually, we're going to take it a step further.
Sure.
Tell us Scorpion's definition, official definition, pin for Scorpion of brand. Let's hear
Yes.
it, Julia.
A brand is the unique space that has been allowed to carve out in a consumer's mind and heart that leverages its interactional, transactional, and emotional qualities with the needs of the marketplace to ideally create differentiation, relevancy, sentiment, and preference.
Boom, that was heavy.
It
I
felt
love
good.
It did feel good. It
Yeah.
did feel good.
It rings true.
It does, and we serve thousands and thousands of small businesses. I know this show is really geared towards the franchise community. Brand is incredibly important when it comes to franchising throughout the entire life cycle, both the brand, the franchisor, and the franchisee.
Yeah.
But brand is becoming really important to every business, probably more so than ever. We're going to talk about that throughout the episode. And we also have a special guest later on who actually we've been working with, and actually who helped us come up with our own definition of what brand means to Scorpion.
Yep.
Before we get there, though,
Yep.
that was deep. That was scholarly. We're going to need you to come in, bring it down.
Again, you need
Yes.
resident layman.
Resident layman.
You
Yep.
want me to dumb this thing down a little bit?
We're going to lay it up.
You're right.
That's what we're gonna do.
insecure.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. What we want you to do, though,
Yep.
is I hold your hand.
I love when you do.
Affirmation. Yep. What we want you to do is just break it down, make it a little more simpler, a little
Sure.
more concise.
Cool.
Okay?
So marketing is what you do, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Branding is who you are and really what you stand for.
Yeah.
That's the key.
That was
Love it. I love it.
I love
following.
that.
All right.
There are lots of brands that I have a high level of affinity for.
Okay.
But I've got a fairly recent story that I could share about a brand that I think a lot of in the franchise space.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so we were at IFA earlier this year at the International Franchise Association Conference.
Yep.
And we have a client, Miss Heather McLeod,
Yes. Yep.
who is a huge fan of Orange Theory Fitness.
Yep.
Orange Theory.
Yep.
So we were at IFA, and Heather said, hey, look, when you come out to IFA, we are all going one morning to Orange Theory Fitness.
Yep.
Now, I had never been to Orange Theory Fitness, right? But I had seen, of course, familiar with the brand and franchising, was very familiar with elements of their brand, right? Logo,
Yep.
color scheme.
Orange.
Yep.
Yeah, orange, right?
What their theory was.
So anyway, had an idea of what elements of the brand were, but
Yep.
didn't really know. I'd never been there, never experienced it,
Right,
right?
yep.
So we all gather up, we go to Orange Theory, and with the moment you walk in the store, right? First of all, storefront, branding on point.
Yep.
Imagine, it's just what I imagined it looking like in the ads that I'd seen.
Yep.
Awesome.
You walk in and the entire experience from the staff to getting in and actually going through the workout process. It was a great brand experience. Like I said, from start to finish, everything from the things you think about, the visual components like logos, colors, all the way through the interaction with their staff to the experience of the workout. It was on point. I got to be honest with you.
Probably one of the only brands that I know that has that same
Super
experience
rare.
and that their people, members, rave about it.
Yes.
So we all know that no matter if I'm in Atlanta, wherever, I'm going to go to that,
You're gonna get that
location.
same
It's the same experience no matter if I'm
where
in
you
Baltimore or
go.
Dallas. That's
Yeah.
right.
That's a fantastic point.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a fantastic point. I'm glad that you called that out because that is a big challenge
Yeah.
It is.
in the franchise community, especially, right? Is that you got this franchisor that goes through all this pain and trial and error to figure out what is our brand.
Right.
And then you have to not only have to duplicate that once, twice. In their case, they're duplicated over 1,000 times now, I think,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
So one of the most iconic brands, certainly in franchising, is probably McDonald's.
Yes, let's talk about that.
Okay.
So early on in McDonald's, you had a situation where different stores started selling different things. If you've seen that film about it,
Yep.
the founder, or read
Yep.
anything about it, you probably already know this story. Selling fried chicken, that's not McDonald's. But the interesting thing about McDonald's is they have restaurants everywhere.
Yeah.
Like across the globe.
Yep.
But you know, and of course there might be different like little things here and there, but you know when you walk into McDonald's, it's gonna taste the same, it's gonna look the same, it's gonna smell the same. And this is all totally intentional. And I mean, who else could you think of in the franchising world who's more on brand than McDonald's?
Yeah.
I challenge you to find one because that's something that, and especially with the size that they're
Yeah,
at,
global.
that's, I mean, literally
Yeah.
global. Now, of course, there are differences where different menus based on the location and the country,
Yeah,
different wherever.
sure.
This country has this country has that. But you know, and I know this to be true because I've been to a McDonald's in Spain and it tasted like McDonald's.
Humble brag.
Yeah. I mean,
When I was in
have you been to
España.
Spain? Yeah. Neither have I. Patrick been to Spain? Nope. Didn't think so. Okay. Right, but there was a time several years ago where there were other new QSR brands that were popping up that were taking market share away from McDonald's.
Yep.
Right? And McDonald's had to do things like reinvent their store, right? Think about the people coming that may not want to sit down and eat a quarter pounder, but they may just want to have a cup of coffee and jump on Wi-Fi and knock some work out. They were competing with Starbucks, right?
Yeah, sure.
So as their life cycle in business has evolved, they've had to reinvent themselves as a brand a couple of times.
Sure.
They've still remained true, I think, to their core principles, right? What everybody knows about McDonald's, right? It's that deep American first fast food place.
Millions
They
and
still
millions served.
Millions and millions served. They still carried that moniker, right? That's tough to scale brand.
Yeah, of course it is.
So begs the question, who's more responsible for brand continuity? Is it the franchisor? Is it the franchisee? You got to pick one. Who's more responsible?
You had to pick one?
You got to pick one, right? We do this
gotta
all
pick
the
one.
time. So now you can lay out a case for both.
I'll lay out a case.
Let's
But you
hear
gotta
it.
Oh,
pick
will
one.
you?
You got to.
Let's do that.
So in my opinion, it
Okay.
comes from the top. The brand's coming from the top. So the top would be the franchisor to me.
Okay.
However,
Yeah.
it is the responsibility of the franchisee to execute on what was taught by the franchisor.
Yeah.
It's those franchisee owners that are doing that. They've heard the vision. They know what the brand is. That's where they stand for. And then they're executing on what was taught to them.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Think of a marching band, right? So you're visualizing that marching band.
I
So
see
you
it.
know how it looks. Everyone's dressed the same. They're all playing the same song. Maybe there's some people up in the front doing some flags. Who knows
Love
what they're
flags.
doing? Love the flags,
Yep.
right? Okay. But the point is, we're all wearing the same uniform. We're all playing the same song. Yes, we're playing different instruments, and there is some individuality, of course, to any individual franchisee to their local market. We know that, and we're okay with it. But you got to be playing the same song, and you cannot be throwing a football when you're in the marching band.
You're not gonna
You
throw
can't be kicking the soccer ball and be like, hey, I just put my clarinet down because I don't want to do that anymore. No, you're playing the song. And that's what you need to do with your brand. You need to make sure everyone is corralled in. They're all wearing the same uniform. They're all playing the same song, even with a different instrument.
Great
That's
analogy.
okay. That's okay. But we're not playing sports in the marching band.
Yeah, because you get the one band member, the one rogue Z that goes
Yeah.
and does their own thing. It can affect not only that franchisee, but the entire
The
brand,
entire network.
organization.
Our song is
experience.
not the way that it should be.
Yep.
It's not playing that same song. And now all of a sudden some other franchisee is gonna be like, wait a sec, you don't, oh, cool, I'm gonna paint my walls blue now. I'm gonna be this. No. That's
Yep.
not what you're gonna
Effectively
do.
Do my own thing.
Yeah.
then it slowly falls apart.
But that's the beauty of having a brand, and that's part of the great part about being a franchise is you have that continuity.
Yeah.
And that's
Great
part of
analogy.
that's part of what you're getting into
Yeah,
there.
spot on.
Your opinion, Patrick. Who's more responsible, franchisor or franchisee?
Franchisor.
Okay.
It's all on them. And I agree with Jordan completely. Doesn't mean the franchisee doesn't have that
play a
responsibility.
part.
You can't have the rogue franchisee, but the franchisor sets the tone, they set the vision.
Yep.
They're the ones
They're
spreading
not
out the communication.
bought in from day one
Yep.
that this is it. And if it's not clear, it'll all
there's
fall
nowhere to
apart.
go. There's no path.
That's it.
We have
Yeah.
nowhere
Yeah.
we're going.
I'm franchisor
Yeah.
all the way.
So I assume that your answer is franchisor.
I
as
agree.
well.
Yes.
I think my answer is franchisor as well.
Yeah, it's rare that we get a 4
Look,
for
even
4.
if-
No, that's actually true. We,
It
don't,
is.
we,
We never
almost
get a
never
4 for
agree
4.
on
True.
that.
It is never a
Yeah.
4 for 4. I think, but again, it comes down to a tone at the top, right? You
does.
said it perfectly, I think.
Thank you guys so much.
And
welcome.
this is your show
Love
today,
this.
Jordan.
yeah,
Great episode.
Best
affirmation.
episode ever.
So here's another thing, because this is something that we've got. Fortunately, we've got a lot of experience with our franchise customers,
Yep.
and it's been a lot of fun seeing success stories
Yep.
over the last couple of years of how we've worked with franchisors and franchisees to kind of bring in and help them get clear on what their brand needs to be, certainly on a digital marketing perspective.
Yeah, it's good.
Right. So, Patrick, what's one of the more gratifying things about that process for you?
The best part about it is to help a franchisee see that they are part of a larger team.
Yeah.
And when they're going off track and doing those things, that we can really coach them. And once they go through it, there are some pain points to it, right?
Yeah.
There's some growth struggles with that.
Yeah.
But if we show them why this is important, how this is important, and then show them the big picture after it's done, it's super
Yeah, those
awesome.
connections
Yeah.
are there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really a special thing.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
it
is.
really is. I mean, that's honestly like people buy a franchise, right? Part of why they're buying a franchise is not just for a playbook on how to run a successful
That's right.
business.
Sure.
Yep.
They're buying into the brand.
That's right.
Right? I mean,
Yeah, if you want to go rogue, go do your own thing.
Yeah, open your
Yeah.
own
Yep.
thing.
The
Do
more we
something
start
else.
struggling, that's one of the things that they're like, oh, the brand's not the right way. I need to fix this myself.
Yeah.
You have to stay believing in
Yeah.
the vision.
Yeah.
But we also have the ability at that point to go to the franchisor and say, hey, look, you're losing
Yep.
yeah.
the franchisee's
And look,
faith.
sometimes it's just a simple thing. It's a communication thing,
Yeah,
right?
sure.
Like it's one of those things you have to over communicate. You can't say it enough.
No, but you can. And every time you think I've said it too many times. Well, actually, you haven't. And you should say it 10 more times after that.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah. So listen, we are also fortunate enough here at Scorpion. We have some great customers.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
I mean, we have thousands and thousands of customers, and we love all of them. We have some really exceptional customers.
Yeah.
We do.
And we've been fortunate enough to also have some customers that have decided to move on and that we've crossed paths with later on.
Yeah.
Right. So
Small
today
world.
we've got a former customer, right, who has now actually been working with us as a consultant for the
Yeah.
last several months. We've got Mr. Bryan Thomas. Welcome, Bryan. So Bryan was former CMO at Service Master Brands. And for the last, I don't know, quite a while, he's actually been working with us here at Scorpion on how we can help more of our clients get clear on their brands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're happy to have you on set of Dial It Up today. How's it feel to be here?
Just extraordinary.
He's fired up.
Extraordinary. That's a good
I can
word.
tell.
Extraordinary
Listen,
is a great word.
good.
Before we get started, I got a bunch of questions for you. First, tell us a little bit about your background in marketing.
Well, I've started and sold 2 marketing agencies.
Okay.
And then I said, I think I want to see what the client side feels like.
Yeah.
And so I did
Yeah,
some
yeah.
consulting and
Yeah.
worked with that, and then ended up with Service Master for
Yep.
a period of time to kind of help them with some challenges.
Yep.
And that's how I got introduced to Scorpion.
Yeah.
This.
And we're
That's
glad
how we
you
first
did.
met.
We sure are. We sure are. So tell us, just based on your experience, what makes up a strong brand? What are some attributes that make up a strong brand?
Well, when you put a brand together, and there is a process to
Yep.
do that, and it's best practices. It's what is the leverageable attributes of that brand?
Okay.
What do the consumers see in that brand as opposed to its competitors?
Okay.
And then what are the weaknesses
Yep.
of its competitors? And if you put that kind of triangulate around that, you come up with a brand position.
Okay.
And then you put personality and tone on it, and it begins to take form. And then that is the marching orders for the organization. It is.
Okay. So you said leverageable attributes. Can you unpack what that means a little bit more?
Okay, so let's take a plumbing service.
Okay. Oh, that's a good one. 'Cause this is a challenge.
Let's go there. Yeah, that is
Our
a
audience
challenge.
loves plumbers.
But there's got to be something that plumbing service does better, or they think they do better than anyone else in their competitive set.
Okay.
It might be better service. They might have a way to let people know when they're coming, or it might be they have a better price, or there could be a lot of things. Those are the attributes
Okay.
of that
Okay.
product or service.
Got it. Okay, great.
Because it has to be authentic to whatever that promise is that product
Yeah, I think when it
delivers.
comes to branding, authenticity is almost the most important
Oh my
part.
God.
Because you're not gonna
You
you're
can't
not gonna
make it
feel
up.
that.
It's
No,
gotta
you
be
can't.
real. It's gotta
and that's
come
part of
from
the. I
that.
think that's part of the hard part about getting into your brand when you're finding out what those things are to leverage. It has to be you.
That's
good.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
You got to dig into those conversations and actually get in there and find out what that is.
Right.
And it's harder and harder to be unique and authentic because of how competitive a lot of spaces are.
Exactly. There is so much noise out there in the marketplace.
Yeah.
Everyone is trying to compete for that little shred of attention.
Mhm.
A good brand can stand out and help give an edge to a particular business if they have a solid brand structure.
Yeah, so let's just go back to your plumbing example.
Okay.
Because I think that's a tricky one, right?
Yeah,
Branding
it
a
can be.
plumbing
Anything
company,
with
a home
services.
services, an emergency type service, that is a tricky thing, right?
hard.
Damage restoration. I mean, Service Master is a great example, right? It's really hard, in my opinion, to create a differentiated brand experience that makes an impact in the mind of a consumer when they have an immediate need. They walk into their home and they realize they got a flood problem.
Well, it starts upstream
Okay.
before that crisis happens.
Yes.
Where
Okay.
people have either heard or they've seen or they have experienced it in another situation. And they connect that with whatever that brand is. And it basically has carved its place in that person's awareness of services in that area. And part of that comes from looking at the competitive set
Yep.
and saying where do the competitors sit,
Yep.
and where can we sit where there's some white space, and own that
That's right.
from a positioning standpoint. And that's what Service Master or any other brand needs to do to differentiate themselves and then deliver on whatever that promise is.
Yeah.
Yeah, when I think about differentiation, mine goes fitness. Every fitness brand, there's something they're different than their competition.
Right.
When I think about plumber, I go, that's a harder game to me.
It is a harder
industry wise
Yeah,
than
it's a great point.
fitness, right?
But
They can stand out differently.
The consumers, those that have used a particular brand,
Yep.
they will reveal something that is magic about that brand.
Nice.
And once you find that little nugget, then you exploit it
Great
and
point.
build it out.
That's a great place to look too. It's exactly who's already using you. What do they love about you?
the market will bear the truth on a brand real fast.
Great point.
Okay, so you have to define those things. You have to carve that niche out for yourself. Like you said, identify the white space and then go own that piece, right? But once you do that, it's not just enough to own it and talk about it internally.
No.
Right? You have to do things, like you said, to get top of mind, right? Because like you said, it starts before the immediate need,
Right.
which means you have to invest in brand marketing and brand advertising.
You've got it.
How do we get our brand top of mind in our target
Preach to
customer?
A
them.
lot of companies don't understand the investment and the important part of investing in that brand up front, because it will pay off in dividends for those big mega public billion-dollar companies.
Yeah.
Part of their value, almost 50 to it can be 100% more
Yeah.
if the brand is well defined and live.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
It makes that value of that particular organization much higher.
Yes, you're talking about like the Nikes of the world,
Oh, yeah,
the
the
Coca-Colas of the
Cokes.
world,
Yeah.
the Apples
Yep.
of the
Yep.
world.
All the ones you
makes
can
makes
think
perfect
of.
sense.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
like let's
McDonald's.
let's pull this back a little bit and dig into the relevancy of brand and franchising,
Of course.
right? Because another thing that's really tricky about franchising is that you've got the franchisor who really owns the brand and the brand vision, and again, carving out that white space, figuring out what's our position in the marketplace. But then they got to go sell that to hundreds, maybe thousands of individual franchise owners.
Right.
Right? You've been in that spot before. Tell us about some of the challenges that involved in communicating the brand, the essence of the brand, the position of the brand into the franchisee community so that they leverage it in their local market and they treat it like it's their own.
Well, It begins, first of all, the franchisor
That's it.
has defined the brand.
Agreed.
Yep.
Yeah.
And made it very clear and represented it so that there is no question of how this brand should act, sound, and look.
Yeah.
And if the franchisor doesn't make that kind of investment up front, how can they expect the franchisee to implement something that's vague and nebulous?
Yeah, wishy-washy or
Or
not
you're
even no
lost,
direction at all.
Yeah. And I think sometimes businesses, new businesses, tend to just build something and don't think a lot about, well, how does this interact with an audience that I want to, attract?
Yeah.
And how is it different from all the other guys that are competing for that same, target audience?
Yeah. Yeah.
A good concept will only take you so far because somebody's going to copy you
Yeah.
down the
Yeah.
road.
Right.
Yeah.
So you
And if it's
have to
purely
do it.
transactional, you're screwed.
That's it.
Yep.
So it's hypothetical,
nice.
but I say to you, Brian, hey, Brian, all brand is logo.
A brand is not a logo.
Okay.
It's not an identity. That's the symbol
Yeah.
of the brand. But the brand is the soul of the organization. And if you don't manifest that and define that for your audience, you've missed an opportunity.
That's great. Good word. Well, you said you were never
I'm getting a
say
little
that.
fiery.
Oh my. Oh.
This late? I love
I
that.
thought we
fiery.
were going to have it.
You know what time it is?
Fiery. Yes, it is time for a jam drop because Brian, I just baited you into that. I would never, ever say such a thing.
You would never say that.
Back then when I tricked you?
That brand is only a logo. But here's the thing: talk to way too many businesses out there that only think about logo as their brand, and it is a huge mistake.
Massive.
They only think about color schemes as the brand.
Right.
Huge mistake.
Yep.
And I would be
Stop it!
Yeah.
Stop it!
Tell them to stop it too, Brian. Tell them.
Stop it.
Yeah, that was
just
more of a
stop.
whisper. Jamie's was more authoritative.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Though I think the reason is, look, the branding thing. It is a hard thing.
It is.
It is a difficult thing to really take the
It's
time.
challenging. It's uncomfortable. It sometimes pushes you in a place you didn't feel like you wanted to go, but you need to do it.
Julie, you made a great point earlier. It's look, you can have a perception of what your brand is, but ultimately at some point, your customers really start to define
That's right.
the value of your brand.
Yeah.
And sometimes that may be different than your own view of what your brand is.
Yeah. And then it could be too late.
Right. But the thing is, there's a process you have to go through, a very uncomfortable process you have to go through to get clear on all the important parts about a brand. And I think sometimes the easy way out is just they think about it as a logo.
Sure,
I'll create a new
keep it going. I'll
logo.
do a little change
And
here.
that's our brand. And again, it's not because they're lazy per se. It's just because, man,
They don't know.
they don't know. And it's
Yeah,
hard
or-
to do. It's
Yeah, and get
really,
started.
Find
really
the problem
difficult
and
to do.
commit to the fix.
Yes, agreed. Now, speaking of logos, today we're going to draw a logo for Pat's Tricks and Things. Right? Pat's Tricks and Things is a magic store based on our beautiful co-host, Mr. Patrick Crawford over here.
PTT.
Very
So
nice.
here's the challenge, guys. 60 seconds. All right. We each have a little whiteboard. We got our markers here. We got 60 seconds to draw the best logo that we can that communicates the value of Pat's Tricks and Things. So if the only thing that we had in the marketplace that represented our brand was this logo, right? You got to come up with your best shot that's going to communicate the value of your business of Pat's Tricks and Things to the marketplace. Everybody ready?
Yeah, I'm not ready at
Okay.
all.
Okay.
8,
Here we go.
6,
Wow, he's using a lot of colors here.
4,
This is not good. Ah!
1. Time.
Yeah.
Pens down, boards face down. Please.
Son of a B.
Now,
Brian, as our resident branding expert, you've been through this process more than we have, just because you're younger, of course. So, Brian, your job in this competition is to judge the best drawing of Pat's Tricks and Things logo.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So you got to declare a winner. Now we have a very strict rule here at Dial It Up. When we ask a question,
With the
right?
winner.
You got
You
to.
can't say everyone wins.
No, you
Yeah,
can't
no
do that. We don't do
There's not no.
Do we have an eraser?
Oh, okay.
We do not.
No,
and
all
your
right.
time is up.
We don't do participation trophies. I need, once you had a chance to digest all of our drawings,
I prefer to eliminate myself right now.
I need you to declare winner. Is that fair?
Okay.
You can do that?
Fair. I think I can do that.
Okay, great. Okay, great. So who wants to go first?
Not me.
Okay, look, I think because she constantly shows us up
Yeah,
all the time
good.
throughout the
Start there.
store.
Okay.
I don't want to pick on her because I
She's
love
won
her
a lot
so
of
much.
contests.
But Julia, you're gonna have to go first.
I'm happy
Let's
to
see
go
what you
first.
did. Show
So
her the.
this is the logo for Pat's Tricks and Things, which is a magic shop.
Welcome to the magic.
I mean, look at that. That is upsetting.
Well done.
Magic shop.
So he's got his arm kind of leaning. It's like the top hat's kind of like a hot tub, and he's got his magic wand because Patrick's relaxed. So it's a good little.
I love it.
Oh gosh,
I gotta be honest with you. For 60 seconds, that's pretty solid.
That is. I think it's the
That is
best so
not
far.
pretty.
It's the best so far.
Give her a hand
what you're
on
about
that.
to say.
Give her a hand on that.
So
Yeah,
far.
one on. All right. Since we're so close to him, Patrick, why don't you go next?
All right, guys.
Expectations are high.
There's a reveal here that I think everyone's gonna feel strong about.
Okay. All right. Let's see it.
Okay.
Okay. Now,
Julia.
Can you wait? Hang on.
Is that a rolling pin?
Wait, hang on.
okay, guys.
Please,
Keep it up.
please unpack this for us.
Let me
Yeah. Can you explain it?
All
to
right,
us?
let me
'Cause
just go through.
We'll need a lot of
a
that.
few things here. This is also a hat here, a magic hat. It turned out to be more like a pilgrim's, which I was upset about. I almost even put a buckle. And I don't know why, but I couldn't get away from it. Okay, so I backed off of that. Okay, then I thought, okay, what if this hand holding this magic wand here was bringing me out of the hat?
Great.
Okay, right? Okay.
That's your hair
so
right
this
there.
is supposed to be me. As you can see, Pat's Tricks and Things on the shirt. I'm a big message T guy.
Clearly.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
worst.
not happy.
No.
Look, but listen to this. What I thought about is if I had an eraser, what I would do is erase the whole thing
Yeah.
and just say, wow, this trick made it disappear.
Oh, should have done it.
Should have given me an eraser crew.
Okay. All
fine.
right. Moving on, man.
All right.
So I don't want to ask who's winning. So
No.
I'll go quickly.
But I think it's pretty clear.
Okay. I don't. Let's see how Jordan.
Oh.
We got two more left here. Hang on.
This is going to be incredibly underwhelming, so I'll just turn it around. Yeah, just take it in for a second.
Okay. Love what I'm seeing.
No descriptions yet.
Yeah.
This is-
Now it is simple.
Yeah, thank you. I'd rather you talk about it than me. So, I'll just be honest.
Multiple colors though.
I had two colors.
You did
Black
do that.
and blue.
Yes.
My thought was, I wanted to make sure Pat was talked about more, so the P's bigger. The
Good.
tricks were talked about less, and the things were talked about more.
Beautiful.
okay. Oh, it's
Listen, you guys are not going to beat me up as much as I'm beating myself up right now.
fair
Okay.
enough.
I hated it.
I gotta tell
I
ya.
panicked.
There's a chance I don't come in last.
There's. I panicked.
He did say
60
that.
seconds.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was doing, and you all saw it.
Okay. Are we done? Are we done?
I mean,
Do you guys have any questions for him?
Nope.
Now the pressure's on you, Jamie.
The pressure's on me. Yeah, you're
Can
right.
you top this magnificent expose of logos?
Guys, may I present to you my logo for Pat's Tricks and Things?
Oh, come on. Come on. I know who drew that, and it wasn't you. What?
that's great.
You know, there's a lot of jealousy on the set.
No.
Very good.
This is.
Wow.
I'm ready to
Oh
take it
my
in.
God.
Coming
Wow.
over to you, Jordan.
Yeah, I
So I
All
don't
the
know.
colors you got in.
I have a question for you. If
Yeah.
you can take those.
Sure.
We talked about this being Pat's tricks and things.
Yeah, where's the things?
Thank you, Julia.
Well, listen. I ran out of space. That was one mistake that I made. I ran out of space. I didn't quite draw
I just
the
feel like
scale.
actually
card
the
is
mistake.
that
I didn't
above?
draw it to scale.
What card is that above the
So-
king?
That's the
What would
queen.
you, let's show it to the camera. What,
The queen, Julia. Right. The queen is Julia. She's ruling over us kings. Right.
all right.
So yeah, let's get a. I want the audience to have a vote too. So let's be fair. Let's show them everything at once.
Just text 4 for me. Go now.
All right. So Bryan, we need you to vote.
Take your time.
Well, you know, I think it's pretty clear.
Mm-hmm.
I think, Jamie, you kind of taking
Did I win?
the deal.
Yeah.
You blew it up.
Congrats, Jamie.
Guys, listen, I feel vindicated because earlier in the episode I was crying sad tears. Now I'm crying happy tears.
Well
I'm
done.
crying happy tears.
I cried.
Patch tricks. Logos are important.
So I think this was a quick exercise, right, on the importance of a logo, right? While a logo may not be everything about a brand,
Sure.
right? If you get the logo wrong, you can have a little bit of a negative impact on the brand sentiment.
Yep.
Yep. I think everybody would agree that Jordan's execution would probably not bode well in the marketplace.
They know, Jamie.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
Cool. Bryan, thanks again, man. We
You
really
bet.
appreciate you.
It's
We
good to
love
be
we
with
love
you guys.
working with you as well.
Stay
It's a
with us
pleasure.
forever.
Guys, thanks so much for joining us. We hope you had a great time today. We hope you learned a few things about brand, the importance of brand, the process, as it will. It's a long one, but you got to go through the process of getting clear on your brand, communicating your brand to the franchise network, getting them behind the why, right?
Yeah.
Right? And then helping them understand how they leverage marketing and advertising in their local markets to make people aware of the brand, right? So until next time, on behalf of the entire team, Jordan, myself, Bryan, Julia, and Patrick, thanks so much for joining us. We'll catch you next time on Dial It Up.
Peace. If you enjoyed the episode, come back, come hang out, click that subscribe button right there, hit the little ding button. It's going to notify you of new uploads. I want you to come back. I know Jamie wants you to come back. Julia for sure wants you to come back. And Patrick's somewhere else.